Glory to Jesus Christ. Today we'll be reading the Gospel for the 18th Sunday after Pentecost, which is Luke 7:11 to 16, and then the commentary from the blessed Theophylact. So the Gospel for the 18th Sunday after Pentecost. Now it happened the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and a large crowd. And when he had came near the gate of the city, behold, a dead man was being carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. And a large crowd from the city was with her. When the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said to her, Do not weep. Then he came and touched the open coffin, and those who carried him stood still. And he said, Young man, I say to you, arise. So he who was dead sat up and began to speak, and he presented him to his mother. Then fear came upon all, and they glorified God, saying, A great prophet has risen up among us, and God has visited his people. And then the commentary from the blessed Theophylact, and the commentary is for the whole gospel itself, verses 11 through 16. Because the Lord, while not even present, had healed the centurion's servant, he now performs another even more remarkable miracle. He does this so that no one could say, What is remarkable about the healing of the centurion's servant? Perhaps the servant would not have died in any case. This is why the Lord now raises up the dead man as he was being carried out for burial. He does not perform the miracle by his word alone, but he also touches the bier, teaching us that his very body is life. Because God the Word, who gives life to all things, himself became flesh, therefore his flesh itself is likewise life-creating, and takes away death and corruption. The dead man sat up and began to speak, so that some would not think that his rising was only an apparition. Sitting up and speaking are definite proof of resurrection from the dead, for how can a lifeless body sit up and speak? You may also understand the widow to mean the soul which has suffered the loss of its husband, the word of God which sows the good seed. And the son of such a widow is the mind which is dead and is being carried outside the city, that is, outside the heavenly Jerusalem, which is the land of the living. The Lord then takes pity and touches the bier. The bier which carries the dead mind is the body. And indeed, the body is like a tomb, as the ancient Greeks said, calling the body a burial mound, which means a tomb. Having touched the body, the Lord then raises the mind, restoring its youth and vigor. And after the young man, meaning the mind, has sat up, raised from the tomb of sin, he will begin to speak, that is, to teach others. For while he is in the grip of sin, he cannot speak or teach. Who would believe him? And this is the gospel for the 18th Sunday after Pentecost. Glory to Jesus Christ.